Welcome to Brew Report. I'm Lawrence, and every week I write about my adventures in the world of beer at brewreport.co.uk. This week I'll be trying Canadian Breakfast, a coffee maple syrup infused stout from stalwarts of the Bermondsey Beer Mile, Brew By Numbers. Regulars to the blog will remember that we've tasted beers from Brew By Numbers before. First in May, in the depths of Lockdown 1, we tried the Bring the Brewery Home Box, a selection of their favourite beers from that time. And more recently, between lockdowns, I even managed to make it out in person to visit their taproom myself. Right now, we are in the middle of a lockdown again, so I am enjoying this beer in the safety and comfort of my own home, but I'm still very much looking forward to it. Somewhat unusually for a Brew By Numbers beer, this can is shiny and chrome, not the sleek black design that we've become used to. It is, however, reassuringly emblazoned with that stylized number on the front, this time a 08 that looks like it's been drizzled onto the can in syrup. It looks, surprise, surprise, like a stout. It's inky black and thick. The head is rich and foamy. It looks not unlike the foam you'd expect to find on a fairly expensive cappuccino. For all that maple syrup chat on the label and on the design, I'm not picking up a lot of that on the nose. Instead, I'm picking up black, bitter coffee with perhaps a touch of dark chocolate. There's oodles more black coffee on the palate. It's thick. The oats in this beer mean that the mouthfeel is quite luscious. It coats the mouth and leaves that flavour lingering for minutes after every sip. There's a hint of cinnamon or some kind of woody spice on the finish, but that's the closest we really get to maple syrup in this beer. Overall, it's a lot drier than I'd expected. It's far more like Brew By Numbers' own oyster stout, which is a very dry, quite smoky stout, than it is the similarly named Canadian Breakfast stout. So first, is this a good beer? Now here I've got no reservations in saying yes, it is a good beer. It is powerful, it is full of flavour, it's well balanced, it brings all of those delightful chocolatey coffee notes that I've grown to love in a dry stout. Is it what I was expecting though? And here's where things start to get perhaps a little more interesting. You see, we mentioned earlier that label looks like it's been drizzled onto the can with syrup. The label itself, the blurb, references the unmistakable flavour of Canadian maple syrup. I'm just not getting it. I don't feel like I've been shortchanged. It's still a very good beer. It's full of those flavours, as I mentioned, but is it what I was expecting when I picked up the can? Not really. That's enough from me though. What I want to know now is, what did you make of this beer? Have you tried it? Have you tried other beers by Brew By Numbers? Are you a Canadian drinking it for breakfast right now? Whatever it is, leave your answers in the comments below. I look forward to hearing what you've all thought. If you've enjoyed this review, and I sincerely hope you have, you can check out many more of them and fresh reviews every Sunday at brewreport.co.uk. Until the next time, happy drinking. In case you're wondering why I may be sitting a little bit awkwardly, this little monster has been on my lap the entire time, shedding incessantly. It's a very sleepy boy.